I just got this 2001 MZ Skorpion. I was just, you know, one of those days stumbling on Facebook Marketplace looking for something cheap, maybe a new project, you know, and then I stumbled on one of these. Not a lot of people are familiar with these. If you see the motor, the engine, you might see something familiar. This exact model of engine, as I believe, did not come into the US. They were in the SZR660, which was a Yamaha model in the UK, but it is basically a Yamaha Raptor 660 motor, and it was stuffed into this MZ frame. MZ is a German manufacturer, and from what I read, the front forks, swing arm, brakes are Italian, so it's a pretty nice little piece. As you can see, I took off the plastics. Plastics are in pretty good condition. The bike on this side doesn't seem to be dropped. On the other side, if you look closely at the exhaust, first I thought it was dropped and scraped and patched, but if you look on the manual, that's how they came from factory. But if you look closely, you can see that your brake lever is bent, so it was definitely dropped. And on this side of the fairing, you can see the bike was dropped. Not a big deal, because as you can see, if it would have been really bad, the water pump would have been dropped. I mean, the water pump would have been hit, and it doesn't seem like the water pump or the exhaust was hit, so it wasn't bad overall. The front looks really clean. It actually has good enough tires, not great. Brakes don't look bad. Actually, even the pads look okay. Pretty much same with the rear. It has the luggage tray attachment and the luggages with the working key, so that's pretty sweet. And the only bad thing is the tank. The tank is pretty messed up, but as you can see, it's a fiberglass tank, so I'm hoping I can get that, you know, just repainted. Won't be that much of a pain, we'll see. I'm guessing somebody might have repainted it and just not used the proper primer or something, and that's what made the paint peel, but who knows. So let me see, I want to see if you guys can guess. This is a 2001 MZ 660 Skorpion. Let's look at the miles. It only has 6,000 miles. I believe they are original, because everything looks pretty clean. It's not running right now. The battery was dead. As you can see, the tank is messed up, but the engine is free. The clutch seems to be sticking. When you put it, when you press the clutch and it's in gear, it won't free up, but I don't think that that's a big deal. We'll see. In the comments, can anybody guess how much I paid for this bike? I'll give a shout out to anybody who can guess or get at least within $50. Anybody? So when I found the listing, it was posted for $500. I know the MZ Skorpions aren't popular in the United States, but I'm pretty sure they're worth a little bit more than $500. And then if you ask why they were asking so cheap, if you see right here, I have a receipt. The owner was a very nice lady, and she was very honest with me. She told me she basically had fuel issues where her line would keep falling off the petcock. As you can see here, I'm hiding the name of the shop. I'm not trying to, you know, say anything bad about anybody, but she was charged $500 in labor. She was charged $60 for oil, and for a whole bunch of things. She spent $830 cash, and apparently the next day she brought the bike home, the bike wouldn't start, because apparently, I'm just guessing, that the fuel line would get off the petcock. So she was tired of it, and then she was just honest with me and told me she would take $300 for it. So yeah, I got this baby home for $300. It's got a clean Florida title, which is a really big deal. And again, yes, a 2001 MZ Skorpion 660cc. It's a Yamaha motor. It got only 6,000 miles, and yep, 300 bucks. I think that's a pretty good deal. So you guys follow along, and you know, it's not looking great right now, but I think we'll make this, you know, polish it out, fix a few things, paint the tank, and it should be a, you know, really nice runner. If you can see right here, you can see that all the electronics are Yamaha, although the motor is, you know, the cases are stamped MZ. If you look up Yamaha Raptor, the cases are quite different. But if you look up a Yamaha SZR660, that's a UK model, you're gonna see it's a all aluminum hollow frame, you know, way wider instead of steel like this one, but the power plant is exactly the same from a Yamaha, the SZR660. And from what I've seen, that's a UK only model that we never got here in the US. And from what I read, they were made to compete with Ducatis, but you know, they were a big single cylinder, which I'm just guessing is not very popular in the US. One thing, does anybody know, I thought that this had 2 carburetors. From what I can tell, this is definitely not a carburetor. I'm thinking it's some kind of power valve, maybe just makes extra vacuum to pull more fuel. Can anybody explain this to me before I Google it? I might feel really stupid, but just let me know what it is. And then to me, this seems like it's the oil reservoir back here. I thought it was coolant at first, but it's telling you to use 15W50 APG oil, so I'm guessing that is your dry sump reservoir. I'm not sure why it's plastic or why the oil looks that color, but yeah, just got the bike today, so I haven't really, you know, looked up too much on it. I took off the tank, started trickle charging the battery. It's a UASA, so it'd be awesome if it could come back to life, although the battery was replaced in 2019, so it's not looking like it might happen. But so far, most of the connections seem pretty well. Oh, another one, if anyone is familiar with these, this looks like some kind of vacuum reservoir. It has 3 lines that go into it, and then one goes into this switch right here, and then this is just like what is it? It's just like a drain, and this was disconnected. Does anybody know what this sensor or what this reservoir is for? Is this some kind of just vacuum storage? If anybody knows, that'll help. And if anybody's had experience with these Skorpion 660s and has any tips for me, they'll be greatly appreciated. So yeah, here it is. I'll be keeping you guys updated with more videos as I, you know, probably just give the motor a good old clean, then tackle the carburetor and rebuild them, get the tank redone, you know, little things here and there. All right, thank you guys for watching. Have a good one.